Good morning, good afternoon. I have just come back home from a cafe with a friend of mine. We actually went to a new one. It was quite nice. I had a black sesame seed latte, decaf latte. It was so good. So good that I definitely will be going back there. The vibe also is kind of nice, so if it's not too busy, I would love to go there again, especially on a sunny day. I feel like on a darker day, it wouldn't be as nice because I don't like dark cafes personally. So it was bright enough today because the sun has been shining, the sky has been clear, it's been beautiful. I read, or I've been rereading actually, this book here. It's called 이너를 위한 수영교실 #1. So swimming lessons for a mermaid. And I started reading this, when did I first read this? Like 2 years ago? A year and a half ago? I want to say closer to 2 years ago. And let me just tell you, it took me almost a year to read this because I barely understood what was going on. I specifically got the pictures. Oh my gosh. I specifically got a Korean book with pictures so that I can start practicing my Korean. You can kind of see emotions that are attached to certain sayings and things like that. And I read up to page 58 today. It took me about 40 minutes, which is a lot quicker, #1, than when I first read it. Also, #2, the way I'm understanding this so much better. And again, you know, as I get better, I would love to continue to like come back around and reread and get more clarity, because I feel as if like you're cleaning off, you know, glass, and like the more you clean it, the better you can see through. That's kind of how I feel with this right now. So although my understanding isn't perfect, I'm definitely understanding our backstory. So we're following this girl. Her name is Chea, and Chea is actually a mermaid. So she is living on land, and she's living with her dad. Her dad is human, and she's going to school and everything like that. And she interacts with this guy here. So his name is Suyong. I forgot his family name. Hold on. Lee Soo-young. So that's him. So he's on the swimming team. He didn't do that great on the opening swimming competition that we're in. So his coach is like, if you don't do better, you're going to get really acquainted with cleaning up the pool area once we're done with practice, that kind of thing. And she's at this competition just looking at the swimmers, and she's like, oh gosh, if only I could swim so freely and naturally like they do. And you find out that when she was younger, she just couldn't swim. Like, she wasn't strong enough. She kind of would stay at the ocean floor, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, like a mermaid who can't swim, like who can't swim with power, like what is she gonna do? Like, do we need to give her lessons? And they're like, lessons? Like, who's ever heard of giving lessons to a mermaid? Like, these are the other mermaids talking and stuff, her siblings and her cousins. And anyways, they end up going to this magical mermaid, which kind of, you know, you think it's gonna give Little Mermaid vibes, like, hey, I'm gonna make you this really crooked deal, that kind of thing. So what ends up happening is that she gets these legs, these human legs, because now many more mermaids are trying to go on vacation on land. So she doesn't have any perfect legs for her at, I guess, what they can afford. So she has these imperfect ones that she can choose from. And there's varying reasons why they're imperfect, but one of the things, or one of the flaws of these legs, is that, you know, if they get wet, she ends up turning into a mermaid. And again, like, she ends up getting her tail and everything. So it's giving me H2O, if you ever watched that show too. So anyway, she's now on land, living on land, and I don't know what grade they're in actually. I don't know if it's high school or middle school. It's giving high school. I think they're in high school. And through some accidental circumstance, she's at the school gym, and she's looking out at the water. She's like, wow, the pool's so much bigger when there's no one in it, like just seeing the vastness of this pool. And again, because, you know, Mr. Lee Soo-young kind of messed up. He was there later. I don't know if he was cleaning. They don't mention that. But he was at the pool later than everyone else. He scares her because he's like, oh, hey, what are you doing here? And she gets startled because she didn't expect anyone. She falls in the pool. He dives in to save her, pulls her out, and she's like, great, now I have to come clean. Like, I need to tell him that I'm a mermaid. So she does, and he's like, so that was real? Like, I thought I wasn't seeing things correctly. Like, obviously, like a chlorinated pool, you're not sure what you're seeing sometimes because it's blurry. So she's telling him, he's like, I promise I'll keep your secret, blah, 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 blah. So, anyways, all that to say, I am understanding this so much more. I am actually enjoying the story so much more, like the humor. And I read up to the completing book two. I think there's five or six, I think. But my goal is to actually read through all of them and have all of them because honestly, the art style is just so cute. Like, I think I filmed a clip of one, but especially extreme reactions like this. Full focus. Hello. There you go. Extreme reactions like this, or something else that comes up. Whenever he's just very surprised. Like I remember, I remember this little scene here that comes up. So this scene, so funny. And I just remember really enjoying it, even with my very limited understanding. But I think now that I'm reading it again, I am very much appreciating it more because I understand more. So I'm looking forward to reading this over the weekend. Like I said, I got to page 58 in about 40 minutes or so, which for me is really fast considering this whole thing took me like 6 to 8 months to finish the first time.
It took a minute to admit it, but it turns out that you were all I needed. You're the calm I crave, the sunshine when I hate to drive in the rain. Oh, I must have done something right to have you.
It is Tuesday and it is officially Lunar New Year, so happy Lunar New Year. And I finished yesterday when I went to a artificial waterfall cafe called Pokpo Cafe, closer to Seoul. Actually, here's a little postcard that we got at the visitor center. How cool is that? It's really pretty, so you have this waterfall. I ended up finishing this book, 이너를 위한 수영교실 #1. And I was just so happy. Like I said before, I was just so happy to be able to understand what was going on because there were so many things that I did not pick up on last time. And oh my gosh, it was just so satisfying to be like, I understand what's going on. Maybe not perfectly, and I would love, like I said before, I think to reread this series again. I say series like I finished it. I haven't finished it. Reread it again and see like what other words and understanding of phrases and nuance that I could pick up from this. So yes, I actually did bring this with me too. This is the second installment. And I didn't end up reading it because we had such a full day. It was so much fun. So after the cafe, we went to the mall, got some food, walked around, and we even went to the bookstore. And what do you think is inside? You probably aren't surprised. Actually, it is more volumes of this. So this is actually volume 4 and volume 6. I don't have volume 5 because volume 5 is sold out right now. And it's so funny. I realized with this particular book series or comic series, the most random editions are just sold out for the longest time. Like for the longest time, volume 4 was sold out. But I do have from the longest time ago, volume 3. So I would love to just read through the series. These books are so heavy, I'm not gonna lie. These are very, very heavy books, but they feel so nice. I have to say the quality of Korean books are just so wonderful, so beautiful. So yes, I am very, very, very happy. Very happy. And I also finished, not finished, but I also made a little entry in my reading journal, which has been nice. Where did I put it? It's somewhere around here. And then what else do we have today? Okay, so another book though. I do want to read another book. And I realized I don't think I want to read The Paris is a Good Idea. It was always a good idea. I feel like I'm not really that gripped by the story at all. Like, because thinking about it, I'm like, I want to read it because I borrowed it from the library, and that's pretty much it. But I already read a little bit into it, and it didn't grip me, and I want to be able to get a book that grips me, that I want to really read. So I don't know if I should stay on this rereading train, read a book on my Kindle, or because I have so many Kindle books. Oh my gosh, so many Kindle books, or read another physical book. Because the next one that would be interesting is Malibu Rising, since I'm kind of in that realm, or I could read a little bit more of The Convenience Store by the Sea. But that one I kind of dip in and out of, that one. Yeah, so I'll have to decide. Once I decide, I'll let you know. But I'm just so happy that I was able to not only read the story way faster, but actually understand. And actually, my friend that I went to the cafe and everything with, hung out with, she ended up getting a Korean comic too. And she's like, you know what, you inspired me, because she's also learning Korean. So she's like, you inspired me to read, like, get a comic and read it and practice, because I was just so excited. So she's like, I want to do it too. So that was really fun. Hello, it is currently 6:48. I don't know why it took me so long for my brain to compute that. Actually, I do know. I've been suffering from a really bad headache today. It just kind of came on hard and strong around 4, and actually maybe around 3:30, and only now am I slowly starting to feel better. So I was actually gonna have dinner plans, or I had dinner plans with a friend of mine, and I was just like, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to reschedule for tomorrow if that's okay. It genuinely felt as if I had this giant, super angry octopus just like squeezing my brain for the last nearly 3 hours. And I took stuff for it. I took quite a bit of headache medicine. Not a lot, but like, you know, just considering the, like, taking it an hour and a half apart, 2 different kinds of headache medicine, it just didn't help at all. I drank water because I was like, maybe I'm dehydrated. But yeah, anyways, I basically sat in my bed, and I have a window right here that I had open, and just had like the cool like air hitting my head, and I was listening to an audiobook. So I currently am reading Every Summer After. Let me grab it real quick. I'm currently reading Every Summer After by Carley Fortune, and honestly, it is so cute. I'm 26% of the way in, and I really like her writing. I've been kind of going back and forth, reading it by myself, tandem reading it the last couple hours, on and off. I've been just listening to the audiobook, and then whenever I hear something that I want to highlight, I'll pause, find it in the book, and then highlight it. I don't know if I'll be able to finish today, but I'll probably definitely get to like halfway, I think, before the day rounds out. And oh, I started the second installment of Lunar New Year 수영교실. I don't know why I keep on saying it in Korean. I'm so sorry. Swimming lessons for a mermaid. So I started the second installment. I'm 50 pages in. And the love triangle is really heating up, guys. It's really heating up. And it's really funny. We got to a part where she's at a aquarium, and like weird things are happening, and they're like, why do all the fish keep leaving? And yeah, so basically seems like the fish are afraid of her, even though she's in her human form, which I think is hilarious. But yeah, the audiobook, I actually do really like the narrator as well. Just for me, oh gosh, I don't know, like, because I've heard so many mixed things about this book. I didn't know what I was getting into, except for the fact that right now we're kind of at the back end of our winter, and our winter was so cold, like so cold, that I was like, I need anything that makes me feel warm on the inside. Hence the reason why I've been reading this, and Daisy Jones and the Six recently, and now Every Summer After. And it's just so sweet. Like, the characters are just so sweet. And then, like, well, especially because we're mostly in the past timeline, frankly. And I really like Sam, and I really like his mom. I really like just how thoughtful he is, because he's quite intellectual. Like, you find out really early on that he's very smart. His dream is to be a doctor, and so he is very intellectually mature for his age. And his deep devotion for his friend, which is Percy. Her name is Persephone, but she goes by Percy at this point in her life. And just seeing his fierce and deep care for her, and same with him. And then, or yeah, he cares for her, she cares for him. And then also just seeing how much insecurity she has. And honestly, I can understand it. And I have a feeling, I don't have no idea what the miscommunication or whatever caused them not to talk to each other for, what is it, 12 years or however many years ago. Um, but I have a feeling it stemmed from this issue that she has with her basically wanting to be liked, wanting to fit in, knowing that she lives in Toronto instead of like this little town, even though her heart's clearly there, even from an early age, because at school she's writing about this town. She wants to be a writer and things like that. And still she is just desiring what many young girls desire, is to be accepted and to have a friend group. And of course, many girls, not all, but many girls, if there is a popular girl in her class or your school, like, you have a tendency to want to appease to that person because you want to be liked by them, even if they're not great people, which this popular girl who is her like frenemy, she's not a good person at all. And she's probably dealing with her own issues, I don't know. But all in all, I just really love how she describes him. I love just, and it's not even like anything crazy or detailed, but it's so relatable. Like when you really care about someone and you're kind of walking that line of like, do I care about them just because they're my friend, or do I care about them because I am falling in love with them? I love just the feelings that she articulates and she evokes. And yeah, so I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it. I did order my dinner to come to my doorstep. And that's pretty much it. Hello, slightly new angle. I have been just chilling today. I did finish a book. I did finish Every Summer After by Carley, I believe. And I already returned it to the library, but I did really enjoy it. The latter half wasn't necessarily my favorite, but it wasn't bad. But also, it could have been how I read it. So yesterday, I think I mentioned I had a really bad headache. So at that point, and then this morning, I kind of still had a migraine hangover. So, yeah, it was like one of those things that I'm like, it's unfortunate how, or the fact that they did spend so long apart. So our two main characters, Percy and Sam, they basically were super duper close since they were 13, and then they spent another 13 years not speaking to each other until they were like 30 or something like that. They reconnect. And like the end just made me sad, knowing all the life that they missed with each other, you know? But it was realistic enough where I'm like, okay, I could totally see that happening. I could totally like hearing a story like that from someone I know, you know? So I did really like it. I haven't read anything else yet. I did, well, actually, no, that's a little bit of a lie. So I'm just dabbling in Magnolia Parks. I just started the audiobook. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I just want to test it out because everyone seems to really love the writing. And the thing is, like with me, flowery writing isn't the best, but I heard that there's like a lot of quotes and stuff that you can pull from it. But then also just having a really toxic relationship. I don't know how I feel about reading about that, but yeah, so I may or may not get back into it, but I did borrow it from the library. And then I haven't read any more of Swimming Lessons for a Mermaid yet, but I will probably read some more later on today. I have actually been watching this show. It's called The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. That is such a long, weird name, but it's an anime, very short. I'm on episode 7 and there's 13, so I'm about halfway done already. And yeah, so it's been kind of a chill day. The weather's been gorgeous. I took a walk already and I got myself a coffee. It was really, really yummy, a decaf. And then had pizza. So I don't know what I'm gonna read, but at this point our little vacation is over, so I think it was quite successful. And the next time I pick up something else, because I have a couple loans from the library and obviously I have my own collection, so the next time I figure out what I'm actually gonna read, I'll talk to you later. Bye.